Hello, Kenneth Hollins here. Thank you for joining me for this live webinar. I'm just going to wait a few moments and give people an opportunity to log on. It's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and so I'm going to give everyone just a few moments to get on here. But I'm real excited. It's been quite a while since I've done a webinar, and hopefully I will be able to be a blessing to somebody where I can possibly share some things with you and offer some things hopefully that will help you in your plan to help you to be a better musician. You know, I understand how it is when you are a gospel musician and you really don't have a lot of resources where you can turn to get help for your plan. So I want you to know that I am really honored to be able to share with you all those things that I have learned. And so I see on the live chat we have a few people. All right. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Last name is Emmanuel. Welcome. Jean Patrick from Monaco. Welcome to you. Welcome. Glad to see you on here. And so during the webinar, now I want this to be an interactive time. So if you have questions while we are doing this, feel free to ask questions, while we're going through the different things that we'll do. And if you're watching, I see we have a few people on now. Just give me a shout on the live chat. Let me know where you are, city, state, possibly if you're in a different country. All right, Anthony Tompkins, glad to have you. All right, Keys for Christ 63. All right, Dave, glad to see you. All right, come on, let me know who's on here and where are you from? Charlotte, North Carolina, okay. Orlando, Florida. All right. Now, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. Trinidad, wow, okay. Houston, Texas. Vienna, wow, okay. Dallas, Oregon. Maine Cross, all right. Glad to have you. Awesome. Caribbean, wow. That's wonderful. Well, our motto is we're serving gospel musicians all over the world, so that's literally where we really try to help gospel musicians all over the world, literally, almost in every country. Houston, all right. Hampton, Virginia. New York City. My wife, she just recently left New York City a couple of weeks ago. She was on a trip. Melinda, glad to have you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, as you come on, just let me know you're on here and where you are located. And if you have questions, I'm going to try to keep my eye on the screen from Philly. All right, T. All right. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the screen. So if you guys have questions in the course of me going through the material and the things that I'm covering, I want you to feel free to ask a question. And if I am able to, I will definitely try to answer that question. Okay? Now, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to do some playing where I'm actually going to play an arrangement of a song. And so I understand that on the webinar we have several different levels of skill. We have possibly some beginners, some intermediate players, maybe even some advanced players. So I'm going to try to keep it somewhere in the middle where I don't want it to be too beginner and then the advanced players get bored. At the same time, I don't want it to be too advanced and then the beginner players are somewhat lost. So I'm going to try to keep it somewhat in the middle, and hopefully this will be something that everybody can appreciate and everybody can benefit from, okay? All right, awesome. Melinda, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we see Michigan in the house. Awesome, awesome. All right, well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an arrangement of the song For God So Loved the World. Now let's switch our screen over here so you can see everything that I'm playing. Okay? I'm going to play an arrangement of the song For God So Loved the World. Hello, Angela from Texas. And I'm going to do this in the key of C major. And so first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to play it all the way through first, and then I'm going to go back and break the song down for you. So I'm going to show you exactly how to play it, as well as show you some principles within the arrangement, hopefully that you can apply to some of the songs that you play. Okay? All right, here it is. All right. All right. Now, that was a fairly simple arrangement of the song For God So Loved the World. Okay? All right. Now, hello from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Nana from Ghana. Awesome. Wonderful. So glad to see you on here. All right. Now, let me break this song down for you. Now, this is in the key of C major. Now, I'm going to break down all of the notes for you. And I'm going to actually leave this video up for a while. So if you're not able to write down all of the notes, don't feel rushed to have to do it right now, because I'll leave this up and you can go back and then you'll be able to see everything that I did. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave this up. Now, I started off like this. Okay? All right, now let me break it down, those first three chords for you. All right, now this first chord, my left hand is playing G and F. Right hand is playing A, C, and E. Okay? This is what you would call a G suspended 13 chord. And then I went here. With the left hand, I'm playing G and F again. And then the right hand is A flat, B, D flat, and F. Okay? So first chord, second chord, and then we went here. All right, now this is one of the first things that I want to show you that I try to do quite often. And the first thing is what I do to try to make my chords sound a little bigger. You know, when you play the piano, you want your piano to sound full and rich. And what I say is to play with a big sound, okay? And one thing that I do to play with a big sound is I spread my notes out a little bit more when I play my chords. Let me show you exactly what I mean, okay? Say, for example, we take a C major chord, okay? Simply C, E, G, right? Now, I can take those three notes and rearrange those three notes. And when you take the notes of a chord and rearrange them, that's called a chord voicing. In other words, I'm taking the same notes, but I'm reorganizing those notes or rearranging those notes to try to get a different sound or a different effect, okay? And so that's one thing that I do to try to get a bigger sound when I'm playing. I'll take a particular chord and reorganize the notes or revoice the notes, okay? And so one thing that I do with major chords is I will play what's called a 1-5-10, a 1-5-10. Now let me show you what I mean by that. So the third chord of this song was this. Okay, so this is a C major 6-9 chord, okay? For the purposes of the demonstration, I'm just going to call it a C major chord. All right, now C major chord would be C, E, and G. I'm pretty sure most of us all know that. Now, what I will do is play a 1-5-10. Now, what's a 1-5-10? If we're playing a C major chord, we're going to think about the C major scale, which is this. Okay? Now, every note of that scale has a number. So since the first note of the scale is C, we will call it number 1. And then the second note of that C major scale is D, so this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm pretty sure most of us already know that, okay? Now, 1, 5, and 10 would be this. It would be the first tone, and then we move up to the fifth tone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the G, and then the 10th tone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and I will actually play my major chord like that. Instead of playing 1, 3, 5, I will actually play 1, 5, 10. Where it's the same three notes, C, E, G, but they're reorganized or revoiced. So instead of C, E, G, now I have C, G, E. Same three notes, just a different voicing. But what that does is, particularly when you do it with your left hand, it gives you a big and an open sound. So playing C major could sound like this. It could sound like that, or it could sound like this. Okay? It's just a bigger sound. It has more body to it, a little bit more richer sound, in my opinion. Okay? And I'm doing that with my left hand, where I'm playing the C, the G, and the E, which is the first, the fifth, and the 10th. Okay? So always remember that you can do that. Whenever you have a major chord, you always can play that first, fifth, 10th arrangement with your left hand. Now, depending on the size of your hands, my hands aren't very big, but depending on the size of your hands, some keys you may not be able to play them all at the same time. And so if your hands are not big enough to do that, what I encourage people to do is to play the first tone and then press your sustain pedal and then hit the fifth and 10th tone like that. So it'll be like this. But with your sustain pedal, it sounds like this. Okay? And it still gives you the same effect. Now, let me show you a way you can practice on that. That works with any major chord. Any major chord in any key, you can do that, and it'll give you a bigger sound. Okay? It'll give you a bigger sound. Awesome. All right. Drop 2-second inversion. That is exactly right. Awesome. Okay? I see I have some advanced players on here. I love it. I love it. Okay? Now, let me give you an example of how you can practice this. Now, what you can do is do it in every key. All right? Now, if we were to play the major chords in every key, it would look like this. C major, D flat major, D major, E flat major, E major, F major, G flat major or F sharp major, G major, A flat major, A major, B flat major, and then B major, okay? Now, how can I practice this? This 1-5-10 arrangement. This is one thing you can do, especially if your hands aren't big enough to play it right on. You can do this. Okay, that's in C. Now we're going to take it up a half step to D flat. All right? So that was the 1-5-10 in D flat. Okay, I don't want anybody to get lost. I'm simply playing the first and the fifth and the 10th tone of the D flat major scale. Okay, so the D flat major scale would be this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I keep going, and I just played the first, the fifth, and the 10th tone. Okay, that's all that I'm doing, and I'm going to do this in every key. So again, in C. Now I'll do it in D flat. Let's go up a half step. Okay, let's go up another half step. Another half step. Another half step to E major. Into F. G flat. G. A flat. A. B flat. And then B natural. Okay? Now let's practice it with the sustain pedal. And then we're back to, okay, then we're back to C, okay? Now you also can use this for minor chords as well. Now, if you want to make it a minor chord, you want to use this arrangement for a minor chord, you will simply play the first, the fifth, and instead of a natural 10, you will lower the 10 a half step and make it a flat 10, okay? Or just lower the 10th, all right? So we would have this. So if we had a minor chord, maybe a C minor 11 or something like that, and I wanted to give that bigger sound with my left hand, I could do this. Like that, okay? And if I were to go up half steps. That's F, G flat, G natural, A flat, A natural, B flat, B natural, okay? So that's something that you can do whenever you're playing any major chord or any minor chord when you're trying to get a bigger sound. It's real simple, and you can use it almost for anything. Any major chord, any minor chord. If it's major, you're going to play the 1, 5, 10. If it's minor, you're simply going to play the 1, 5, and then lower the 10th, okay? Real simple. All right, now let's get back to the arrangement. Now this is where I stop. Now here's the 1, 5, 10 with my left hand. Now, another thing that I love to try to do with my chords is I like to try to add in what I call color tones, and I'm trying to kind of keep an eye on the chat at the same time. Okay. Okay. All right. I call them color tones. And a color tone, from how I look at it, is a tone that you add to the chord, not to change the chord per se, but to add a little character, a little flavor, a little color to the chord that you're playing. And if you watch any of my videos, you know that one of the main go-to color tones that I use is the number 2. I always use the number 2, or you could call it the 9th of the chord, okay? And let me give you an example of what I mean by the number 2 or the 9th. Again, if we're playing the C major chord and we play the C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, of course, the number 2 in the C major chord would be the D natural, okay? So if I want to add a little color to this C major chord, I simply add in that D natural, okay? So instead of C major, now I have C major add 2. Okay, and it adds a little color to the tone, okay? Another color tone that I love to use, I don't use it as much as the 2 or the 9, and the 2 and the 9 is the exact same tone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. D is 9, 1, 2. D is 2. 2 and 9 is the same tone. But another color tone that I love to use is the 6. And I don't use the 6 as much as the 2, but I will use the 6 sometimes when I'm trying to add a little color to my chords, okay? And so in the key of C, the the 6 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be the A natural, okay? So this is what it would sound like. C major with the A natural in there, okay? And maybe we can double the root of the chord on the top, okay? So instead of just playing C major like that, I may decide to put that 6 in there as well. Possibly double the root on the top. Or instead of the 6, put the 2 in there. Okay? And that's something that you can do on any major chord as well. Add that color tone, the 2 or the 6 or both. And that's actually what I did in the arrangement. I added the number 2 and the number 6 to that C major chord, which was this. Here we go, right here. All right, this is the C major chord. Again, that's the 1, that's the 5, that's the 10. This is the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is the 6. And if we keep going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. D is the 9 or the 2, okay? And so those are my two color tones, the A and the D. And I'm adding that to my C major chord to add a little color to your tone, okay? So if you're searching for, you may say, well, you know, I can play already and, you know, I know songs, but I want to beef them up a little bit. I want them to sound a little bit more modern. That's a real easy and a simple thing that you can do is add those color tones. And the best thing to do is really just to experiment and to see where you can use it, see how you can use it, how often you want to use it. You know, as with anything, you don't want to overdo it, but it is something that you can add to what you already do to kind of beef it up a little bit, okay? Now, let's try it possibly in a different key so we can apply it with a different chord. Let's take the F major chord, okay? Now, I'm going to play F major, but I'm going to use the 1, 5, 10 arrangement with my left hand, which would be this, okay? Now, let's figure out what the color tones are. Now, the color tones are going to be my number 2 and my number 6. How do we figure that out? We simply take whatever the chord is that we're playing, and then we play that major scale, okay? So I'm playing an F major chord, therefore I'm going to take the F major scale, and I'm going to play that scale. And let me say this. If you are a person where you're ready to take your playing to the next level, I encourage you to learn all of your major scales. Learn all of your major scales. And the thing with a lot of musicians, I've been teaching music for over 20 years now, and I've seen it so many times where a musician will be very skilled in terms of playing, but for whatever reason, may have not just taken the time to learn all of their major scales fluently. You know, possibly maybe they didn't really see the importance of it, you know. And if you have a pretty decent ear, you could figure out a major scale. You know, say, for example, if somebody say, play an E major scale, you know. Say, if you didn't know it, you know, you probably would do something like this. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I'm not talking like that. We all could figure out the major scales, you know, if we sit down and figure it out. But the question is, do you know your major scales? Do you know them? D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, A flat, A. That was a glitch of the fingers. B flat, B, then back to C. Okay? Now, why is it so helpful to know all of your major chords? See, the thing about it is, if you know your major scales, you can figure out your color tones faster. You can figure out where the 2 is. For example, if I want to figure out where the 2 is for A real quick, I know that's B. How did I figure that out so quick? because I know the A major scale, and I know B is the second note of that scale. Say I want to figure out the sixth tone of E major. I know that that's C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How did I do that so fast? Because I know my major scales. And so knowing your major scales will help you with figuring out those color tones, but it will also help you with a whole lot of other things. I'll give you a perfect example. If you struggle with playing in every key, you know, you may be a beast in A flat, but then someone says, okay, now play that in A flat, and then you're ready to run. I don't mean any harm, but what I'm saying is when you learn your scales and learn them fluently, that will help you to play in every key a whole lot better, okay? And when I play, somebody say I'm guilty. Also, well, when I play a particular song, one thing that I do, and I'm going to share this with you all, I think it helps with the way you think about the way you play. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Say, for example, I was playing this song right here. Okay? And we're going to keep going. I did this. Okay? Now, say, for example, and I'm going to go back and break that down, but I'm just sharing some things with you along the way. Say, for example, you needed to play this in a different key for whatever reason. Say, for example, someone was singing it, and the key that it's currently in is too high, or it's too low, or whatever. And say, for example, you need to play that same song in B natural, okay? Say you need to play it in B natural and not C, okay? And you may not be real comfortable with B natural. If you know your scales very well, what you can do is focus on two things. Focus on your bass notes or the root of the chords, and then focus on the type of chord that it is, okay? Let me show you what I mean. And this is to help someone possibly that has trouble with playing in every key, all right? Now, say, for example, we're in the key of C. So what we're going to do is look at our bass note for this first chord. All right, our bass note is G. Now, we know in the key of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is the number 5. Okay, so now I know that the first chord is built on a 5. Now, the next question is, what type of chord is it? Okay, and I know that this is a suspended 13 chord. So I have a 5 suspended 13. All right. And then we go here. All right. Now, my bass note is still on the 5, but the type of chord changed. So let's figure out what type of chord it is. Okay, now I know that this is a G dominant 7 altered chord. And specifically, it has a flat 9 in it. Okay, the A flat is the flat 9. And then it also has a sharp 11 in it. Okay, the C sharp is the sharp 11. And I hope I'm not talking over anyone's head, but I'm just giving you the actual tones of the chords, okay? And if this is something that you don't know, I encourage you to continue watching, and we'll get into this a little bit more, okay? But this is a G dominant 7, flat 9, sharp 11 chord, all right? But I'm looking at it like a 5 dominant 7, flat 9, sharp 11 chord. And then finally, we went to a C major 6-9 chord, which is bass note is on C, so that's a 1. And the quality of chord is a major 6-9 chord, okay? So we're going to take that information. First chord was a 5 suspended 7 or suspended 13. The second chord was a 5 dominant 7, flat 9, sharp 11. And then the third chord was a 1 major 6-9 chord, okay? Now, that may be a whole lot to think of right now, but the more you do it, the faster you will get, okay? So now let's take that information and apply it now to the key of B major, all right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the F sharp or the G flat would be the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the first chord was a 5 suspended 13. So it would be this chord right here. Okay. Now I was able to do that because I knew what a suspended 13 chord was over F sharp. Okay. Now the next chord was a F sharp, or excuse me, a 5 dominant 7 flat 9 sharp 11 chord. Okay. Now what would the flat 9 be? Okay. I know that A flat is the 9, so flat 9 would be G, and then sharp 11. I know B natural is the 11, and so sharp 11 would be this C natural here. Okay, so we started. All right, and then we go to the third chord. All right, and then this is the 1 major, and then the 6 and the 9. Okay, all right, I hope that was not confusing, but what I wanted you all to see was the process that I went through in my mind to take those chords from one key to apply it to a different key. What did I do? I looked at my bass notes in relation to the key that I was in. I was in the key of C, and the first chord was built on the 5th. The second chord was also built on the 5th, and then the third chord was built on the 1st scale degree. Okay, I took that bit of information coupled with what type of chords they were. And again, the first one was a suspended 13 chord. The second chord was a dominant 7 flat 9 sharp 11 chord, and then the third chord was a major chord with a 6 9 in there. Okay, and I took that information and applied it to B, and I was able to do that. Okay, but guess what? That all comes back to being able to play all of your major scales fluently in every key and knowing the numbers that go to each note of the scale. I'm telling you, that helps everything when you learn to do that. Someone should make that a matter of practice to where you're going to master all of your major scales. Okay? All right, I did a whole lot of talking. Let's see here. Okay. Awesome. Okay, all right, so now let's go a little further. Okay, so those are the first 3 chords. Now go here. Now this is an F sharp minor 11 chord. Now the notes are F sharp, C sharp, E, and then the right hand is G sharp, A, B, E natural. Okay, that's an F sharp minor 11 chord. Okay, and notice what I'm doing is the way I'm voicing my chords, I'm voicing the chords to where the melody note is the top note of the chords. For God so loved the world. Okay, and I'm voicing my chords with that top note on the top of my chord. So, and then here we go. So now this chord right here, the F sharp minor 11, it's not really in the key, but it works. And why does it work? It works because that melody note is the top note of the chord, so it helps me to bring that chord in, and it doesn't sound too foreign, but it does sound different. Okay? Here we go. All right. Next chord. Left hand is B, E flat. Right hand is A, D, and F. Okay. And then we go here. E dominant 7, E and D with the left hand. G sharp, D, and E with the right. Okay, this is simply A minor 7. Left hand is A, E, G, right hand is C. Okay, and then I go here. All right, I see someone just joined from England. Welcome. All right. Now let's talk a minute about this chord right here. This is actually a D dominant 7. For those of y'all that are interested, this is a D dominant 7, flat 5, 13 chord. Okay, now let me show you a little clever thing you can do with dominant 7 chords. Now this is what you would call a dominant 7 chord. And a dominant 7 chord consists of when you play the tones 1, or the numbers rather, 1, 3, 5, and flat 7. So this would be a D dominant 7 chord. And so the D major scale, here we go back to the scales again. Okay, it would be the 1, the 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we flatten it or we lower the half step from C sharp to C. So this would be my D dominant 7 chord. Now, one little thing that I do is I take the 5th of a lot of my dominant 7 chords out, okay? And the reason that I do that is because it helps make room for what I call upper structures or triads that I put on top of dominant 7 chords. Normally, I will take the 5th out of the chord, where now I only have the root or the 1, the 3, and then the flat 7, okay? And many times I'll play that with my left hand. Now with my right hand, I'll play a triad. A triad is simply a 3-note chord. And right here, in this instance, I played the E major triad. Okay, but let me show you a little clever thing you can do. When you have a dominant 7 chord and you want to create a different type of sound, you can change the triads that you're playing with your right hand to get a different sound, okay? This is a neat little trick. You can add the number 2 triad, which what I'm playing right now, the second scale degree of D, and E would be the number 2, so now I'm playing the E major triad. You also can add in the 6 major triad, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B natural. Okay, and so I can take this D dominant 7 chord and put this B major triad on top of it, like that, okay? And then I can even invert those chords. Okay, so I can do the 2 major triad, I can do the 6 major triad, I also can do the flat 5 major triad, which would be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then flat 5 would be A flat, okay? I can play that A flat major triad like that and put it with the D dominant 7 chord, okay? And then I also can do the sharp 5 major triad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then sharp the 5, which would be A sharp or B flat. Actually, it'd be A sharp if you're doing sharp 5, and then that sounds like that. Okay, so I have 4 different options I can choose from. The 2, and in the instance of D major, 2 would be E. The 6, which would be B major. The flat 5, which would be A flat, or the sharp 5, which would be A sharp. Okay, so I could do E major, B major, A flat, or A sharp. Okay, and I can put any one of those 4 triads over this D7. And what is that doing? It's just giving me options and different alternatives. Okay, so I'm going to actually play this up to that particular chord, and then I'm going to let you hear what it sounds like with all of those different triads on top of this D dominant 7. Okay, you guys let me know if I'm moving too fast. I don't want anybody to be confused. Okay, all right, so I'm going to play it, and I'm going to use each one of these triads so you can hear the difference each triad makes over that D dominant 7 chord. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go, first one. All right, now that's the number 2 major triad. Now let's try the number 6. All right, so now that was the number 6, which was the B major. I just simply inverted it, okay, like that. And then a chord inversion is when you take the notes of a chord and you just change the position. Same notes, you just change the position, okay? I don't want to take for granted that everyone understands it or knows it already, okay? All right, let's try now the flat 5, which would be A flat. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's the A flat, just inverted, and then we're going to do one more, the sharp 5, which would be the A sharp. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so you hear all those different options, and so it gives you different alternatives, and it works very well when you're moving from one chord to another and you have a dominant 7 in between those chords as a passing chord. So it's almost like a bridge taking you from one chord to another, and in between those chords you have a dominant 7 chord sitting right there, and you can use this little trick to change it up, to get a different sound, to make it sound a little bit more modern. And so that's something you can always do. So the way you build it, or one way you can build it, is the root, 3rd, flat 7, left hand, and then put those major triads on top of that with your right hand. Okay? So that's something that you can do. Right, exactly. You definitely can use different inversions with this. This is absolutely right. Okay? All right, now let's go a little further. Okay? Now this is what I originally played. I played the 2 major triad, and then, all right, this is simply C suspended 9th, and I'm playing C, F, G, B flat with the left hand, and the right hand is D, F, and C. All right. All right, then we went here. All right, I'm playing a 1 and a 10th only with my left hand. Now, that's C and E with my left hand. If you can't reach it, hit that C, and then sustain pedal, and then that 10th, okay? But I'm doing both at the same time, and then the right hand is B flat, D flat, E natural, A natural. Like that, okay? Then, all right, then we go here to F major 7 with an added 9th in there. I'm playing F and C. That's a 5th with my left hand. I do a lot of 5ths with my left hand. The 1 and 5 of the particular chord, and then G, A, C, E, A natural. And then here, this is simply E minor 7, E and D with the left hand, G, B, D, G with the right. Okay, this is A dominant 7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Left hand is simply A alone, and then the right hand is G, C, C sharp, and then F natural. It would actually be technically E sharp, but I'm going to call it F natural. All right. So let's play up to that point. right, now we're here, which is the D minor 11 chord. Okay, left hand is D, right hand is F, G, A, C, E natural. Then, all right, let me show you that. All right, left hand is B flat, D, A flat. Right hand is E, G, C, and E. Okay, and then we're going to bring all of this down one whole step to the left. Okay, this chord is actually B flat, dominant 7, flat 5, 13. Okay, let me break these notes down for you. A flat, G flat, C, F, B flat, D natural. All right, then we go here. Okay, left hand is G, F, G. Right hand is C, F, A, C. And don't worry now, if I'm moving a little fast for you, I'm going to leave this video up so you can go back and get all of these chords, okay? So don't feel like you have to be rushed to try to get everything or remember everything right now, okay? All right, then we go here. G dominant 7, flat 9, 13. The notes are G, F, B natural, E natural, A flat, B natural, okay? So let's play up to that point. All right, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to play many of the same chords again, just like in the beginning. Same chords again. Same chords. Now watch this. Okay, that's a little device I like to use a lot. Now, after the F major, okay, basically I'm playing F, C, then right hand is C, F, A, C, F, G, A. Okay, so now I'm playing E left hand, B right hand. Okay, so I hit those first. And then I add these inward notes. A, D, and F sharp in the middle. And then I bring down the F sharp a half step, and then bring down the A down a half step at the same time. So those two move down a half step like that, while holding down the E and B. And then we have that D in the middle, and the D does not move. Okay, but I did it with a grace note in there. So I'm kind of doing that. Just a little stylistic thing. Okay? Where I'm actually playing a grace note from A flat to A. And then a grace note from F, like that. So it's almost like you don't really hear that. You just kind of feel it. Okay, like that. Then we go here. All right, which is simply D, D, C. Okay, and then A, G, A, C, E, C. And then we go here. We play a F sharp diminished chord. Okay, and then I'm playing a pretty big open voicing with my left hand where I'm playing F sharp, D sharp, A, with my left hand, and then right hand is C, D sharp, F sharp, A, okay? And then I do this. Or I change the C to B natural. And it's really just kind of moving with the melody of the song. But it sounds nice. I like the sound of it. Now we're back to the chord tones of the F sharp diminished 7. Okay, and then we go here, E minor 7. Okay, same voicing as I used before. I'm not really using real complicated voicings right now. E and D, and then right hand is G, B, D, G. Okay, now this is A suspended 13. Left hand is A, G, right hand is B, D, F sharp, A. All right, this is A, C sharp, G, C sharp, F, A sharp. All right, then we go here, D minor 7, D, F, A, C, F, A. All right, then we go here, E minor 7, E, then D, G, B. All right, then we go here, F major 7, F left hand, right hand is C, E, A, C. Hey, Vicky Webster. Okay, then we go here, G, F, C, F, A, C, and then we go here. Okay, that's a nice little stretch right there. Okay, left hand is G, F, right hand is B, E, A flat, D natural, okay? And then we end it on the C major. And I just simply played an arpeggio where you can just take a C major chord or any major chord, add that 2 in there, and then arpeggiate it. And that means to play the notes of the chord one note at a time. So it'd be like this. Go up an octave, go up an octave, and then what you do is just use your sustain pedal. Like that. And I just kind of use those 4 notes and I play them at random while holding down my sustain pedal. So sometimes I'll go up, sometimes I'll come back down, I'll ascend, I'll descend, doing different things just to have a nice expressive ending like this. Where were we? Okay, so that was God So Loved the World, okay? So let's actually play this one more time, then we're going to do something different, okay? So everything in context, I'm going to play it again. Here we go. All right, so that's it. So real simple arrangement. But I mainly wanted you guys to see how I took those little concepts, in particular the 1, 5, 10 idea, how I took that, how I took the actual major chords and added color tones to them, as well as on the dominant 7 chords, I added certain triads on top of those chords. So those are principles that you can add to anything that you play, okay? So I hope you guys got something out of it. All right, I see somebody, they put down shout music. Okay, we may try to get a little bit of that in to spice it up a bit. Some nice tritones that we can learn. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, let's try this, because I want to keep it somewhat versatile. You know, I know we have a lot of different people from different areas, and you may have different styles of gospel that you like. So I want to actually kind of change it up a little bit. And so right now I'm going to do something for my traditional gospel music lovers. So people that love that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit, and I'm going to try to keep it simple. I'm going to kind of try to stay in the middle. I'll try not to get too advanced because I don't want to leave anybody behind. But I'm going to play a little something that has that traditional gospel type of style, and just give you some real basic things that you can do to enhance what you already play, hopefully. Okay, let's take a traditional song like I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. Okay, so if I were playing this song in a service or something, I may do something like this. Okay, so that's real simple. Okay, so that's the movement. Now what it's doing, basically you're moving from the, now I'm in the key of A flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, you're moving like this. And this is the pattern for so many different congregational songs. One thing that's important to understand when you're playing congregational songs like this, the traditional style, you need to learn the pattern of the song. And in particular, how the bass notes are moving. And generally, that gives you the pattern of the song. Let me give you an example. So, for example, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now we'll go to the 4, 4, 4, 2, 5, 1. And we start over. 1. So basically, that's the pattern of the song. So now I take the pattern, and then I can do all types of things on top of that particular pattern. Okay? Now, again, that takes us back to when you know patterns and when you know the numbers, when you know your major scales, you can do this pretty much in any key. Say, for example, someone was singing it and they said, well, you know, I want to do it in A, okay? If you know the pattern and you know your scales, okay, we just said the pattern, okay? Now, the key of A would be this. Okay, so now we have 1, 1, 1, 1 to the 4, 4, 4, 2, 5, 1. And then you can do the same thing in whatever key. It doesn't matter. See, when you start thinking about numbers, you'll actually get to the place where the key actually really does not matter. Because a 1 is always a 1. A 6 is always a 6. A 3 is always a 3. It doesn't matter if it's F sharp, if it's B flat, if it's G, if it's E. It doesn't matter. When you think in terms of numbers, it takes a lot of the mystery away from playing in all keys, okay? So I just encourage everybody to, if you haven't mastered that yet, master your major scales because it's going to help you in a lot of different ways, okay? Now let's get back to this traditional song. So now we're going to take the patterns and let's put something real simple with it. Now I saw somebody put something up about tritones. Now let me show you something you can do with tritones, okay? One thing that I do with tritones is something that's called sidestepping. sidestepping. Now, sidestepping is something one of my teachers taught me in college, is where you actually will take something that you're playing and then play it a half step below that and then a half step above it, okay? For example, say for example, I was playing a, thank you so much. Say for example, I was playing a lick or something, just anything. Say for example, I was playing, okay? Sidestepping would be, okay, where I play whatever I'm playing a half step below it or above it. You also can do it above it and then play what you're going to play. And you can apply that to a lick or a chord. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. Say, for example, we were playing I'm a Soldier in the Army of the Lord, and I'm playing a tritone. Okay, Maria, this is for you. Marie, I'm sorry. Marie, this is for you. Okay, so now, one. So I'm going to play a tritone on the A flat, okay? For those of you all that may not understand what a tritone is, a tritone technically is what you will call an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth. What in the world is that? Okay. Okay, if my first note is an F sharp, an augmented fourth would be this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go up a half step. To augment means to raise up. Okay, so we raise it up a half step. So it would be the F sharp and the C. Or a diminished fifth, okay? F sharp would be the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to diminish something means to lower it or bring it down a half step. Okay, so we'll move from the C sharp to the C. So it'd be the F sharp and the C. This is what you would call a tritone. So a tritone is an augmented fourth or a diminished fifth, okay? Now, there are certain tritones that go to particular bass notes. Now, the tritone that goes to the bass note A flat is F sharp and C, okay? How do I know that? Okay, let me show you how I know that. One way you know that is if you're going to look at it like what tritone goes to a particular bass note, you can look at it from the standpoint of it's the flat 7 and the third of whatever the bass note is. Okay, what's the flat 7 of A flat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Flat 7, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the 3 would be the C. So it would be the G flat and the C, which goes to the bass note A flat. So I know my tritone is the F sharp and the C. Okay. Now, one thing you also can do if that's too much, you're like, I don't know all of that kind of stuff. If you're saying that's just confusing, a simple way to figure out what tritone goes to a bass note, do this. Figure out your bass note and count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Go up 4 half steps, and then below your bass note, move down 2 half steps. 1, 2, which is a whole step. So my bass note is A flat. We're going to move up 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 half steps down. 1, 2, and it gives me the F sharp and the C. So think about this: 4 up, 2 down. Okay. If you're trying to figure out the tritone to a bass note, think about 4 up, 2 down. So say for example, what's the tritone that goes to F? Okay. It's the 3 and the flat 7 of F. So if you know that, you know it's A and E flat. But if you don't want to think of it like that, think about 4 up, 2 down. So what would be 4 up and 2 down? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the A natural, and then 2 down. 1, 2, which is E flat. Okay? Real simple way to do it. Okay? Now that we figured out what the tritone is to the bass note, I'm going to do what's called sidestepping. Now, I'm going to play the F sharp and the C, and then I'm going to sidestep it by doing this. Go down a half step, come back up. Okay? And that's something a lot of gospel musicians play, and that's called sidestepping. So I could do something like this. Okay? And maybe we can add something in with our right hand. Okay? And then I sidestep moving to the 4 of the chord. And the tritone to the 4, let's try, let's see if it works. would be 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 down, 1, 2, 2. Excuse me, 1, 2. All right, which would be B and F, or I can invert, which I played it like that. Okay, so this would be the tritone that goes to D flat, which is the 4. Okay, the 4 is in the pattern. All right, and we're going to sidestep that. Okay, so left hand is moving like this. Bump, 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 bump. That's to the 4, back to the 1. Okay, that's real simple. That's something that you can do for the traditional type style of gospel. Okay, so let's put a little something with it with the right hand. Something real simple. Now what I'm doing is I'm playing a root, 5, root. Okay, I'm in the key of A flat, so I'm playing the A flat, the E flat, and the A flat. And I'm doing this. Real simple. Everybody can do that. It's real simple. Beginners can do that. A flat, E flat, A flat, while sidestepping. Okay? All right. Now, another thing that you can do is add in this little movement here. Now what I'm doing is I'm also adding in E flat, F, E flat, like this. Okay? Okay? Okay, so let me do it in slow motion. Let's go to the 4. Back to the 1. All right, now let me give you one more thing that I do, or something that's easy to do when you're trying to play this style of gospel music, is when you can play 2 minor chords and then invert them, okay? One thing that's real easy is you can take the 1 minor chord. Now again, we're in the key of A flat. We can take the 1 minor chord and then also the 2 minor chord. Now A flat is the 1, B flat would be the 2. So I'm going to take A flat minor and B flat minor. Now what I'm going to do is go back and forth like this. Now we're going to expand it a little bit, where we're now going to take the A flat minor, A flat, B, and E flat, and then the B flat minor, B flat, D flat, and F, and we're going to play the inversions, okay? But we're going to go back and forth like this, okay? This is A flat minor. This is what you would call first inversion of A flat minor. B, E flat, A flat. This is what you would call second inversion of A flat minor, which is E flat, A flat, B, okay? Now, this is B flat minor in root position, because the root is the bottom note. And then when we invert it to first inversion, D flat, F, B flat, and then second inversion, F, B flat, and D flat. Now what I'm going to do is take those 2 chords and then play the different inversions, ascending or descending. And it's going to look like this. Okay? A flat minor, B flat minor, A flat minor inverted, B flat minor inverted, A flat minor inverted, B flat minor inverted, back to A flat root position. Okay? So you see what we did? We just simply played A flat minor and B flat minor, and we just kept inverting those chords back and forth. So it's like this. Okay? And then we can do it descending. A flat minor, B flat minor inverted, A flat minor inverted, B flat minor inverted, A flat minor inverted, B flat minor root position, A flat root position. Okay? All right, so now let's break that down real slowly. Okay, y'all see that? Okay, now there's something else that you can do with traditional type sounding songs. where you can play just those two chords, playing them in inversions, going back and forth. Okay, it's real simple, but it gives you something to do to keep it moving, to keep it rhythmic, okay? So let's see if we can incorporate it with this example that I was giving you for I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord, okay? Okay, let's try it again. Okay, now if you had a bass player, that would work pretty well, okay? Normally, if you don't have a bass player, of course, you would play your own bass line. Okay, you would play your own bass line, but that's something that you can do that's real simple for traditional type music, where you're sidestepping, and then you can also use that little minor chord inversion little trick I just showed you. Okay, so that's real simple. I wanted to take a few moments before, let's see. I wanted to take a few moments before we conclude this and open it up for questions. If anyone has some questions real quickly, I think we'll go a few minutes longer. Okay, I'm looking at the comments now. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any comments. Okay. All right. Well, what I want to do also is I wanted to also share with you all about my new program that I'm now getting ready to kick off, and it's called the Music Mentor Training Program. I've put some different videos up about it, but I'm really excited about this program because it's going to give me an opportunity where I can share a lot of things that I've learned through the years with different musicians, different musicians that play for a church or that play for ministry or just love gospel music. And so it's going to give me an opportunity to just kind of share some of those things. I've actually been playing for over 35 years and been teaching for 20 of those years. And so I've had a lot of experience with teaching and sharing a lot of different techniques and devices with individuals. And so it's going to give me an opportunity where I can kind of do that on a larger scale. So I'm really excited about it. And then I'm glad to be able to help some of my fellow gospel musicians. You know, I believe it's important that whenever we get something or that when we're blessed with something, to give back and to be a blessing to others. So it gives me an opportunity to do that as well. So I'm really excited about it. Now, this program is actually going to start on next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, should I say, November the 7th. And I want you all to consider being a part of that program. And I'm just going to give you a little information about that program. And if you have some questions about that, I will definitely try to answer those questions. Okay, and I see a lot of questions about tritones. Okay, I will try to address tritones a little bit more in just a few minutes. But I'm going to share this with you, and then maybe we'll get back to it and share a few more minutes. Okay? All right, now I want to share with you about the Music Mentor Training Program again, which starts on November the 7th. This program is going to be a 6-week-long program. So it's not an ongoing program, but it's going to be 6 weeks starting on November the 7th. And you're going to get a whole lot. If you choose to be a part of the program, you're going to get a whole lot. Now, it's going to actually be two tracks of study. One track is called Help Me Get Started. And then the second track is called Help Me Break Through. Now, the Help Me Get Started track or course of study is going to be for more of your beginner players or for the individuals that have not been playing for a very long time. Okay? Now, the Help Me Break Through track is going to be for those musicians that already play, you already have experience, but for whatever reason, maybe you feel like you've gotten to a place where you're not really seeing the growth that you want to see. You don't really see yourself progressing the way you really believe that you can. And I found out many times when that happens, it's because many times we have places in our understanding of some of the fundamental things that causes us to get to a place where sometimes we get stuck. But if you can actually fill in those little gaps, you'll find out many times that you can break through and keep moving forward, keep growing, developing, getting better and better all the time. And so I think this program, as a matter of fact, I know this program is going to be great for beginner players, great for intermediate players, and also great for advanced players. Now, I'm going to actually be teaching in this program for piano, keyboard, and organ. So if you play acoustic piano and that's what you love, this program is for you. If you play keyboard and you only want to play keyboard style, this program is for you. If you play the organ, if you play Hammond organ, that's what I'm going to be teaching on, actually on the A100. This program is for you. And so I'm going to customize the program of study to meet the needs that you have, okay? Now, what's going to come with this program? One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to work very closely with everybody that's in the program. We're going to talk on the phone. We're going to have discussions. And one thing that we're going to do, kicking it off, is we're going to have a one-on-one consultation. And what I'm going to do is, if you're available, and we may have to speak email if you're across seas, but if you're in the States, we're going to speak on the phone if possible. And we're going to come up with a game plan for you to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish over the next 6 weeks. Okay, I'm going to give you tips. I'm going to give you suggestions. I'm going to give you recommendations specifically for you. We're going to talk one-on-one during your time of consultation. And then we're also going to select whether you're going to be a part of the Help Me Get Started track or the Help Me Break Through track. Okay, we will also determine whether you're going to play piano or organ. Okay, and then I'm even going to open it up. If you play both, we even can do both as well. Okay, so we're going to have a one-on-one consultation. Another part of the program is you're also going to have a weekly, every single week for the 6 weeks, a live streaming video training, similar to kind of like what we're doing right now, where you will actually be able to chat with me. I'll be able to see what you're saying, and you can make comments, you can make suggestions, you can ask questions, and I'm going to do my best to answer your questions and to help you with whatever it is we're doing right there on the spot, okay? And so you're going to have a weekly session like that every single week. Not only that, but you're also going to receive via email a weekly training video specifically for you. Every single week, you're going to get a weekly training video. And now this is aside from the weekly streaming video live that we're going to do. You're going to have a weekly training video that I'm also going to send you. So I'm going to send you different resources, different videos, and you're going to get at least one for the 6 weeks every single week. Okay? We're going to cover songs. When this program is over, you're going to know a plethora of songs. And one thing we're going to do is we're going to take song arrangements. And similar to what I did today is where I gave you an arrangement. For some of you all, the arrangements will be a little bit easier. For some of you all, they will be a little bit more advanced based on where you are in terms of your playing. But what we're going to do is we're going to learn the songs note for note, and then we're going to also pull out principles and concepts out of the songs. So not only are you learning the song, but you're going to learn the principles of what I did to create the arrangement. That way you can apply that to anything that you want. You know, it's an old saying that says, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. And so I'm not just going to teach you the song. I'm going to teach you the song, but I'm also going to teach you how I came up with the way that I played it. So that way you can recreate it yourself in different situations and scenarios, okay? So you're also going to receive song arrangements. We're going to do different songs, especially on the beginner track. If you're on the Help Me Get Started track, I'm going to give you songs that you can play within a church service from the beginning of the service all the way to end. So I'm going to be giving you things that you can play for prayer. I'll be giving you things that you can play for talking music, things that you can play for shouting music, preaching chords, offering, baptism, communion. So all of the basic elements that you would need in a particular church service, I'm going to give you those things, give you songs, progressions, things that you can play for that church service. So at the end of the 6 weeks, you will be ready to cover a whole entire church service. Okay? So now that's the beginner track. Now, if you already play, we're going to take you on that Help Me Break Through track. Now, I see somebody saying, where do we sign up? Now, it's actually in the description on YouTube. If you want to go ahead and sign up now, you can, where you can actually go on the description of this particular video in YouTube, and you can click on that link, and then you can sign up. You also can go to hollandsmusic.com, and on our homepage, you will actually see a Buy Now button at the top of the screen, and you can click on that, and then you can sign up that way as well, okay? But it's actually a few more things that are going to be included with this, okay? We're going to cover music theory. You're going to be able to ask me questions, and I think it's important, and I really don't talk about it a whole lot because it's not a huge deal to me, but I think it's important that people know I actually have played for small churches. I played for mega churches with thousands of members and pretty much everything in between. So I know how it is and what to expect pretty much on almost every level when it comes to that. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in music performance, and so I'm going to be sharing with you basically anything that we need to cover theoretically in terms of maybe something you don't understand or something you need help with. I'll be able to help you with that, okay? And I'm really going to work with you hands-on, one-on-one, and give you one-on-one attention, so that way, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, I'm really going to do my best to try to help you with that, okay? So I think it's important that you know that. Not only that, we're going to be including 2 months free of mykeyboardconnection.com. If you sign up, now this is going to be for tonight only, okay? Somebody said, I'm pretty sure I'm a beginner. Well, that's great. You got to start somewhere, and I believe this will be a good start for you, okay? Now, this is what I'm going to do. Now, right now, for everyone that's already signed up, we have people that have already signed up, and a part of what you're going to get is 2 free months of mykeyboardconnection.com. Now, if you haven't seen that, what that is, it is literally years and years and years and years, and I'm not exaggerating, and years and years and years. I have been doing this for I think almost over 15 years now, and it's years and years of videos, and you're going to get unlimited access to everything that's on mykeyboardconnection.com, everything. It's MIDI files on there. It's PDF files on there. It's all types of videos, tips, tricks, chords, training video. It's some of everything on there. And you're going to get access. You're going to get a free subscription for 2 months along with the Music Mentor Training Program, okay? But this is what I'm going to do. For everyone that will sign up tonight, this is for tonight only. For tonight only, and everyone that has already signed up. I'm going to include the ones that have already signed up as well. I'm going to throw in an additional 2 months for free. So that's going to be a total of 4 months of mykeyboardconnection.com completely free, in addition to everything you're going to get with the program. Okay? And so this is a wonderful, wonderful value. It's a wonderful opportunity. I'm going to really work hard to help you to accomplish what it is that you need to do over this over the next 6 weeks. Okay? So I encourage you, if you want to do it, if you're sitting on the fence, you hadn't really decided to do it yet, right now is a great time to do it. And you'll be able to get 4 months free of mykeyboardconnection.com. You'll also get a weekly live streaming video, training video, where you'll be able to chat with me back and forth. We're going to do our one-on-one consultation. You're going to receive a weekly personal video for you each week to meet the needs that you have musically. And then I'm going to share with you tips, tricks. We're going to be working close over the next 6 weeks. And so it's going to be a fun time, and I believe it's going to be a powerful time. And after the 6 weeks, I really do believe with all my heart, you're going to be a brand new player. Okay? Now, how much does this cost? It is only $65. Okay? That's a small amount for everything that you're going to get. And you need to think of it like this. It's an investment in your music, in your playing, and ultimately in your future. A small investment. And it's going to cover the whole entire 6 weeks. Okay? Not $65 per week, $65 for the whole program. A one-time payment of $65, and it's going to cover you for all 6 weeks. This is a wonderful opportunity. I hope that you all will take advantage of this. I believe it's going to be real fun. And I know that it's definitely going to impact your playing in a great way. Okay? Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Again, if you want to go ahead and sign up, you can sign up now, where there should be a link in the description of this video. And then if you don't sign up there, you also can go to hollandsmusic.com. You can go to hollandsmusic.com. where you can actually go to the home page and click on the Buy Now button at the top of the home page, and it'll take you to where you can pay for it. And it's done through PayPal, and when you do it through PayPal, I will get your name, I will get your phone number, I will get your email address from that, and then from that I will contact you, I will call you, contact you, email you, and we're going to connect that way, and we're going to make sure that we're ready for the kickoff, which is November the 7th. Now, the classes are going to be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Now, the Help Me Get Started track is going to be on Tuesday, and the Help Me Break Through track is going to be on Wednesday. Okay? Now, this is the cool thing about it. No matter what track you're on, you'll still be able to see the other track. Okay? You'll still be able to see it even if you're not on that track. So if you're on the Help Me Get Started track, you'll still be able to see the videos from the Help Me Break Through track. So you'll be able to look at both. So that's a really great thing, okay? And so it's going to be Tuesday when we start off, and we're going to start off with the Help Me Get Started track, and then Wednesday is going to be the Help Me Break Through. Now, I know some of you all that are interested, will actually be across seas, and you may have a different time zone. If you're not able to be a part of the classes live, I will make sure that they're recorded. That way you can see them when you get an opportunity to see them. So that way you won't miss anything. If your work schedule does not permit you to be live, you will not miss anything. We're going to make sure that you get every single video from every single week. That way you'll be able to keep up with everything that's going on, and you won't miss anything. Okay? So this is a wonderful opportunity. I hope that you all will sign up. If you do it today, I'm going to make sure that you get 4 months of My Keyboard Connection absolutely free. Okay? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Okay, it's going to be an area code 901. Someone asked the question, what area code will it be? Will I be calling from? My area code is from Memphis, Tennessee, and that's a 901 area code. Okay, Does anyone else have any questions? No, you don't have to be on Periscope. Now, the way you're going to view the videos, you're actually going to log on to mykeyboardconnection.com. I'm going to give you access. Once you sign up for the program, I'm going to give you access to mykeyboardconnection.com, and you're going to be able to see the live videos on mykeyboardconnection.com. And it's going to be a live chat there as well, and you'll be able to come in and ask questions, and we'll be able to communicate and work with one another that way. And it'll be private, and the only people that will be able to see it will be the people that are in the program. Okay? Someone asked what time. Okay? We're going to actually do it at this time, where we're going to do 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for each class, for the Help Me Get Started class on Tuesday and the Help Me Break Through class on Wednesday. Okay? And it's going to be 5 to 6 p.m. So it's going to be for an hour. Okay? It's going to be an hour class. And for whatever reason, if you can't make it, your work schedule, something happens, time zone is funny, we're going to make sure that those videos stay up on the site, and they're also going to be saved where if we need to, we'll be able to send them to you. So you don't have to worry. You won't miss anything. You won't miss anything. Okay? Are there any other questions? I'm really excited about this. I really believe this is going to be an awesome, 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 awesome time. Okay? I just want to answer any questions. All right, Vicky. All right, from Mississippi. Okay, Marie wants to know what lessons are we going to get? How do you learn to read the bass and the treble clef at the same time? That's a good question. Okay. Okay, Marie, I'll answer that question. What lessons will we get? Well, you're going to get a lot of different lessons, okay? Over the course of the 6 weeks, we're going to start off with some fundamental music theory that I believe is very important. Now, one thing that I try to do, I try to weed out things that are not absolutely essential for you to begin playing. The whole point is I want you to start playing, and I want you to start playing fast. Okay, I don't want this is not a program to take you the long route. This is the program to get you to where you're trying to go fast. Okay? And so I'm going to weed out all of the things that I feel is not absolutely necessary. Now, music theory is great, and you should learn as much as you can, but I'm going to give you the essential things that you need so that you can learn what you need and so that we can move through the program and accomplish a whole lot. So we're going to cover essential music theory. So we're going to cover things like chord harmony, essential chord progressions, the progressions that you need to know to play the majority of gospel songs that we have, like the 2-5, 1 progression, the 3, 6, 2, 1 progression. If you're playing the traditional style, to learn the patterns, the 1 going to the 4, to the 6, to the 2, 5, to the 1. Things like that. So I'm going to break those things down and teach you those things. And then I'm also going to give you different progressions that you can play for different situations. You know, say, for example, you know, and everyone does not go to the same type of church, but you may go to a ministry where these type of things are helpful to know, maybe like some type of worship progression. No, little simple things. And so I'm going to teach you so much throughout this whole entire program. I promise you it's going to be a lot that we're going to cover, and it's going to be catered to your particular skill level, okay? If you are a beginner, I'm going to give you things that you can play as a beginner. If you are an advanced player, I'm going to give you some advanced things. So you will not be bored, and it will not be something that's either over your head or under the skill level where you are, okay? It's going to be a very interactive type thing. We're going to cover a lot of stuff in this program. Okay, someone asked a question, does it make a difference if you in between a beginner and intermediate player? Well, it depends. I would say this. If you are leaning more towards the beginner side of your playing, I would suggest you go on the Help Me Get Started track, okay? I think that would be more appropriate. Now, if you are an intermediate player and you're kind of leaning towards more of an advanced player, I would recommend the Help Me Break Through track, okay? So the intermediate is kind of like a pivotal little place. And you need to make a decision. Do you feel like you're leaning more towards the beginner side of that or the advanced side of that? And I think that would determine which track of study you should take. Now, when we do our one-on-one consultation, we can talk more at length, and you can give me more details about where you are and what you know, what you understand, what you can do, and I can make a recommendation about what I think would be best for you to do. Okay? All right. I need to learn how to solo. All right. All right. Well, I love the solo too. I love. Okay, so we can cover a host of things. Okay, if there's something in particular that you would love to do, we can do a lot of different stuff. Okay, so this is wide open where we're going to be working closely together. So, and I think this is the unique thing about this program is that I'm going to actually be working with you very closely. So it's not going to be a cookie cutter thing that I'm just going to just give everybody. It's going to be customized, and you're going to be able to get things specifically for what it is that you need. Okay, I think this is what makes this very unique. I also, yes sir, Bebop, I love it. I love it. One thing about this program though, since I'm going to be doing that, where I'm not going to be working, or really to be honest, I can't work with a lot of people on this program at the same time because I'm going to be working so closely. And so I can only take so many students. So, and I'm just being honest about that. So if you really are considering doing this, I would encourage you to go ahead and sign up. And at some point when it gets to a place where I think it's reached its capacity, because I want to really be able to work with everybody individually, I'm going to have to deactivate the links. So if you are interested in it, you're on the fence, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it. I really believe you're going to be glad that you did. Okay? All right. Are there any other questions? Again, you can go on hollandsmusic.com and you can go to our homepage and there's a Buy Now button at the top of the page, or you can go to the description in this particular video and there is a link where you can click on and you can pay there. Again, this program is only $65. If you have ever taken a private lesson, you know that sometimes a private lesson, one private lesson, can cost $65, literally. And sometimes more than that, depending on who the teacher is. And so you're going to get this whole entire program, 6 weeks, where you're going to get one-on-one attention, like it's a private lesson, and it's only $65. You can't beat that. That's a wonderful value, and it's something that I want to try to do. In a sense, it's giving back. It's giving to the gospel musicians. I've been blessed when it comes to music, and I've really been blessed to do a lot of things. And I think it's just right, and I'm really honored and privileged to be able to give back to others. Okay, so that's what this program is about. Are there any other questions before we sign off? I definitely want to answer whatever questions that you all may have. Okay. All right. Well, everybody, it has been fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on today's webinar. I really enjoyed sharing these things with you. Thank you all for those of you all that commented and made suggestions. I really appreciate that. And so I hope that you all will consider to be a part of the program. And you will be hearing from me. If you've signed up, you're going to be hearing from me, and we're going to be communicating, and we're going to be getting ready for November the 7th, this coming Tuesday, the kickoff of the program. Go ahead and sign up today. Sign up today, and you're going to get 2 additional months, a total of 4 months free in addition to the program of mykeyboardconnection.com. Okay? Yes, organ also will be included in this as well. If you want to focus on organ, we will focus on organ for you. Okay? Are there any other questions? Okay. Somebody says play a few chords with triads and tritones. All right, well, all right, maybe we'll play something out. Let's see, what can we play here? Okay, before we go. All right, let's do, let's see. Maybe we'll do a little bit of, okay, let's switch over so you all can see what it is that I'm playing. Okay? All right, I tried to throw a few tritones in there. Okay, oh yeah, somebody mentioned something about some shout music. Well, I'll try to give you a little bit real quick. Okay, let me show you a little lick. I'll show you this little lick, and maybe we will conclude if nobody else has a song request. Okay, this is a little something that I do, and it works real well if you have a bass player. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this like we're in the key of A flat. Okay. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is the tempo, right? And while I'm at it, let me show you some alternate bass lines that you can play. If you play organ and you're running the bass line yourself, or if you might even be playing keyboard bass while you're playing a keyboard sound. This is something that I like to do. I like to change my bass notes up. I'll give you all this real quick. And this is the standard thing. Okay, in A flat. Everybody does that, right? So everybody knows that. A flat, C, D flat, D, E flat, F, G flat, G, A flat. Now, another thing that you can do is do this. Okay, let me break that down. A flat, C, F, D, E flat. Then walk it on up. A flat, C, F, D, E flat, F, G flat, G, A flat. Another one that you can do is this. Where you're playing A flat, B flat, C, D natural, E flat, F, G flat or F sharp, G, A flat. Okay? Okay, now, let me put them all together so you can hear how when you change it up, it's really cool. So let me put it in context. Okay? All right, now that's just something I just, gave you if you run bass line. Now, this is a little thing. It's not hard to do, but it sounds complicated. I'll do it fast first, and then I'll break it down. So, say, for example, the tempo is like this. Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum. This is something you can do. Okay? And it's real effective when you have somebody playing that bass line going like that, okay? Let me break it down for you. It's real easy. It just sounds like it's complicated, but it's not, okay? This is what I'm doing. Now, what I'm doing with my left hand, I'm playing just E flat back and forth in between every note. A flat, E flat, F, E flat, F sharp, E flat, F, E flat, B natural, E flat, F, E flat, and then start over, okay? So this is what I'm doing. So A flat, F, F sharp, F, A flat, F, B, F. And in between every one of those notes, we're playing an E flat. Like that. Let me slow it down. So let me speed it up now. Okay? All right. All right, Vicky Webster. This is just something I'm just teaching. You won't get lost. Trust me. I won't leave you out there by yourself. Okay? So fast, it would be like this. Now, this is another little addition that you can add to that. So B flat, B, B flat, A flat, F, E flat, there. Okay, A flat, E flat again, okay? Okay, so that's just a little bitty thing that I do sometimes.